Welcome back. 5:39 now on Daybreak, and we're just moments away from an out-of-this-world sight. The moon is about to pass in front of the sun, creating a partial solar eclipse.
We have team coverage and multiple cameras giving you a look at this phenomenon if you can't see it from your own home. So let's start with our meteorologist and space enthusiast, Elise Smith, up on the roof right now. Good morning, Elise.
Hey, good morning, Pete and Melissa. Yeah, so I actually can't see this partial solar eclipse from my vantage point up here on rooftop weather because some taller buildings are blocking it. But I will say the sunrise is not as bright as it usually would be, so we know something is happening, and the moon is coming in between the orbit of the sun and the earth, and the moon is going to be blocking part of the sun right now. So this is a live look from Niagara Falls over our Seneca Skycam, and you can see right behind this building right here, you can see what's happening right now. We have that orange hues. The sun is beginning to rise, but it's being partially covered up by the moon as we are going into this partial solar eclipse. We are getting right towards that peak right now, which is at 5:39, 5:40. So we can't really see it from this vantage point, but here's a better view. There it is from our Hyatt cam. Look right now at your screen. There it is. The moon is covering up the left-hand portion of the sun as this partial solar eclipse is happening over Western New York right now, June 10th, 2021. This is one of the best places across the United States to view this partial solar eclipse, as no one in this country is in the path of totality. The path of totality lies across the northern half of Canada, portions of Greenland, and Russia. So this is likely one of the best views of this morning's partial solar eclipse in the entire country, and we get to see it here in Buffalo right now. Just look at that. Take a moment and take it in. And this is just a peek, a preview of what will be happening in 2024 when we do get that full total solar eclipse here in Buffalo on April 8th in 2024. But this is one of the most unique sights I've ever seen, where we are getting a sunrise, but the moon is covering up the sun with how the earth is in alignment, the moon is in alignment, the sun is in alignment to give us this beautiful shot. And here's a shot from NASA, even better. You can see the moon covering up the sun there. If you are outside right now, if you want to take a peek at it, don't forget your eclipse glasses, but you can safely look at it here on your television screen, on your phone screen, or your computer screen if you're joining us from the live stream. But look at this. From our Hyatt cam over Buffalo, we get to see a partial solar eclipse this morning. Now, we've already reached our partial peak here in Buffalo. Now the moon is going to be marching away from the sun through about 6:36, and once we get to that point this morning, we will have our full and bright sunrise. But if you are up early with us this morning, thanks for tuning in. This is just a wonderful sight here right now, and I'm sure many people across Western New York have woken up early with us to view this celestial event. Very unique, I would say once in a lifetime experience to be able to see this type of solar eclipse over Buffalo and over Western New York. And it's just, again, a preview for what we will be able to see when Buffalo is within the path of totality in 2024. So if you got any eclipse glasses or bought anything to view this eclipse, hang on to them, because we will need that in just a couple of years. And you can already see the moon is starting to back away from the sun. We're getting to see more of the sun right now, as the moon in its orbit around the earth is starting to move away from the sun, and we're starting to see more of sunshine from us right now. So what an amazing sight, and thank you to everyone who's left us comments, who's joined us for this live stream on our social media platforms and online. And if you're watching with us right now, we can all take a deep breath and sigh and look at this beautiful sight that we're all experiencing together, live on air, live outside. This partial solar eclipse is visible right now in Western New York. And I know we have Lauren Hall, who's at the Buffalo Science Museum. She's experiencing it with many amateur astronomers and people who love space and science too. And we're going to send it over to Patrick right now. Patrick, how are you feeling? I know you were very excited about this partial solar eclipse, as I was, but as someone who was able to view totality in 2017 with that total solar eclipse, I mean, this is just as special, but I'm sure it's gotten both of us and many people who love science very excited for what's to come in 2024.
Yeah, well, it's 5:40 in the morning, so typically I'm emotional anyway, but today is no exception. This is really cool, you know. I just walked outside. The colors of
it's gorgeous.
Whether you see it or not, really did dim for a little bit. But again, this eclipse was occurring as the sun was, you know, peaking above the horizon. So we didn't see as much of a change during its evolution, but it's really something. You know, there's so much ancient history and folklore regarding eclipses and what people used to think they were. In fact, in the past, before we really understood what an eclipse was, some communities thought it was a dragon that was eating the sun. That's what it was like. Some of the mythology with eclipses was really, you know, stories of legend. It was really something. And now we, of course, know what's happening.
Yes.
And the reason for it. But eclipses have played a role in history for eons.
Well, and what's so unique is when we are within the path of totality, when it gets dark, as if it's somewhat like nighttime or as if the sun is setting. And when I was able to experience totality, all of the animals and the different insects, cicadas, because it started to get darker, they perceived it was nighttime. So it wasn't just the experience of being able to view the solar eclipse, it was the sounds and being around so many people who were just so excited to see it. So it's not just watching the eclipse, but being present with everyone there to fully experience it. And I cannot wait for us to be in the center and be within totality in 2024.
It's true, Elise. And yeah, you got to experience the one a couple years ago in totality. And we're going to experience that here as well. Usually, paths of totality are very narrow. Luckily, sometimes they cross the United States, but as it just so happens, in 4 years, that path of totality, no, excuse me, 2 years, that path of totality is right over Western New York and Buffalo, which is just an amazing opportunity for us. But
April
again,
8th, 2024.
April 8th, is that in our, yeah, nobody's taking a vacation that day. Anyway, we're seeing the end of this eclipse, but at least truly something.
It was. So Pete and Melissa, what do you guys think? We're going to send it to you.
I think what is pretty cool is you're seeing our view from the Hyatt cam, but that NASA shot that we saw really showed the
Ring of Fire. That was spectacular.
Yeah. So it's it's a show that I've never seen and likely we won't see in our lifetime again.
All right. Right now, this live look outside will take you to break as you're watching the end of the partial solar eclipse. Stay with us.